Hi guys, it's Paul again. Just wanted to show you a quick, we're going to carry on with this graffiti style here on this piece of art. And we're just going to, a lot of graffiti artists use the word funk, F-U-N-K, in their artwork. So I'm just going to do behind Jack Skellington here, just underneath Kevin, I'm going to write the word funk, okay, but a little bit of this is going to be missing. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So you're going to do, these are quite fat bubble letters here, so we're going to go up and over, and it's going to go out just underneath the curtain there. Alright, it's going to come round like this, hopefully you can see that. Then it's going to go down, and we've got a tiny little section like that, okay, which is the F. Okay, the U now, we're going to go from here, we're going to go down and round, we're going to go like this, okay, it's going to go in, and it's going to go up again, like that. Okay, there's the U. Then the N. Alright, the N we're going to have, it's going to go like this, it's going to go up here, but the N is going to disappear behind Jack Skellington now. So we're going to go across, and it's going to go up like that. There's the N, okay, that's what's happening with the N. And then the K, we're going to go up even further, up to here, down. It's going to have a really small K, like that, and it's going to go right round, alright, and the K is going to come back in here, and that's what it's going to look like, the funk, okay. Now, what you could do, if you wanted to, is to use some black. I'm going to use a fine liner here for this, just to show you. You want to really go around all these letters wherever possible. Okay, we're going to go down and round this F. Okay, this is what we're doing. Out here. That's the U already done. Just going to bring this up, and the N's going to disappear behind Jack's head. A lot of graffiti artists use this kind of technique in the bubble writing. Okay, so there's the funk. And then all you need to do is to make it look like more graffiti-like. If you go around this F, alright, and what you want to do is you want to join this U here and then take it like that. Okay, and you shade in. If you've got black pencil crayon, you could use black pencil crayon, but I'm using the fine liner here just to show you quickly how I would do it. Okay, so there's the F. Okay, round the bottom of the F like that. Okay, what I'd also do is bring that darkness around the F here, but I'd stop it at the top like that. Okay, so that's the where we would have the U, like that. Okay, what we want to do is colour this in the middle, get this around the back of there. Okay, this would be black here, like that kind of thing. Okay, again, up and over with that N. If you can, it's going to go again up and over the K, like that. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of black in there, a little bit more dark here with that K. So that's your funk, okay? I think that looks quite cool. Now to make it look a bit more, well, to stand out a little bit more, I'm just going to colour it in with a light kind of blue. So I'm going to do a sky blue for this. Okay, and what you want to do, if you can, is to leave a little bit of white. Alright, so what we'll do on this top edge of the F is we'll leave the section just white. Okay, so we've got a streak around the top that's white, so if we leave that edge white, it'll just make it look quite cool. Alright, so that's what I'd do, something like that. Alright, so there's the F. Again, the U, what you want is a little bit of this left white, okay, and a tiny tip of it left white as well, okay, and again with the blue, sorry, with the N, a little bit left lighter or white, and then this edge left as well, okay, and then you can just go right across this now with the sky blue. Alright, I'm going to graffiti over the top of this funk anyway to make it look a bit more graffiti style, so you don't need to worry too much. Right, again I'm missing on the K, I'm missing a little bit of white in the top right hand corner of the top section of the K, and then I'm going to miss the bottom section of the K out as well, okay, and actually I'm going to miss this section out in the middle, and right around the outside edge is going to be white as well. Okay, so I'm missing the section in the middle, two sections here, and then this outside edge. Alright, you probably spend a bit more time on it than I am. Okay, and then the U, we just need to go back and just colour in the U. Okay, again, just missing out that top section, which is white. Okay, and that is our funk. Okay, what I would then do is, if you've got some kind of felt tip, or I mean I've got some, I'll show you what I've got actually. I've got some acrylic pens which are really good for like painting rocks and stones and pebbles and things. I've got some really good acrylic pens. You need to give them a shake. These are from Artistro, again off, got these off a link off Instagram. You can get them on Amazon, no problem. So where the funk is now, I'm just going to draw a couple of lines off like that, okay, and I'm just going to dab a couple of dots so it looks like it's dripping, and I'm actually writing across that, so I've gone with like a greenish colour, okay. Now I follow this guy, street artist called Whatson, Whatson, where he combines art with graffiti, and he does all these kind of strange X's across his work. He's got some really big kind of X's, and he's got some drips that go down. Okay, so we're just going to probably just go across one of these here, this kind of thing, with my this is like a lilac-y colour. Okay, so he does these big X's across his work like this, and he normally draws two next to each other, but one's slightly smaller than the other. Okay, and then if we've got something that's a lot lighter, the white's probably good. However, we're using a white paper, so I've got like a creamy colour, and what I do then, sometimes it does an arrow all the way down, kind of drips an arrow across the top of this like that. Okay, so I'm just showing you what you can do with your colours really. Behind the funk then, we can have a little bit of pink coming in, that kind of thing. And we'll just take it down below Jack Skellington's head. You can have something running down if you wanted to, something like, I don't know, something like this. We get a blob of paint and it runs all the way down. Yeah, something like that. Okay, I'm just aware I don't want anything to go in front of the curtain here, but we're going, it's as if somebody's come along and graffitied over the top of this piece of artwork. Okay, so that's what I'd like you guys to start thinking about doing. Martin Whatson is really good with his styling. So he kind of, well, he does these big letter A's all the time, and then he writes down them, but I can't do, he normally does a white one, but I'll just show you an example if you can see this down here between the can. So he'd go across first, then he goes down, okay, and he goes quite big and bold, alright, but he stops it. He stops it lower than this one, okay, and then he curves this kind of thing through, okay. And these pens are really good because they do, because they paint, it's acrylic paint, it's not perfect, which is what the effect you get with a spray can. Okay, but you can do the same effect if you wanted to with a felt tip, I suppose. Okay, so he does this kind of thing, and it's quite fat lettering at the top. So there's your A. He does A's all the time across his work. Okay, he writes things like funk and love and things like that as well. Quite bold lettering. Okay, so he also does some large S's and shapes. So what I'm going to just do is show you. I've got a nice thick felt tip that I can just show you what the kind of things that he does. So this is a black felt tip, all right, and he does things like this here. So he'll do a line down here like that, okay, and then he'll go across here. He'll go this. I'm going to go across the bill actually of the bird, and then this is the kind of thing he does. Okay. Now if you want to make that look a little bit more kind of drippy, you then get a black acrylic pen. Okay, and I'd go over that with my acrylic pen. He does this kind of effect. Okay, and then if you've got another colour like a blue or something like that, just do a couple of X's behind it if you can. Yeah, so you go something like this across, and he'd go again like that. All right. With these pens, if you hold them down, you get a splash effect, which is what might be quite good there. Okay, so he does those kinds of things across his artwork. All right, and it's normally in a spray can, but I'm using these Artistro paint marker pens that you'd use for ceramics, painting ceramics, mugs and things like that, glassware, or I use them for painting rocks, and when we do like hide and seek rocks around the local area with the kids. So hopefully you've enjoyed that quick demonstration of a bit of graffiti style. That's based on the street artist Martin Whatson, who is Norwegian. he's based in Toronto now, but he's from Norway, and he combines really cool art of people and graffiti style as well. So he's worth checking out on Instagram, and he's probably got his own website as well. I haven't looked at that. I've found him on Instagram and Pinterest if you want to check him out. He's got loads of really cool artwork. And hopefully you're staying safe, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care.